Listen up, everyone. Life isn't always going to be easy. You'll face challenges. You'll face disappointments. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is let go of the people and things that no longer serve you. But here's the truth. Letting go isn't giving up. It's about moving forward. It's about growth. It's about stepping into the person you're meant to become. We all have people in our lives who hold us back. They drain us. They discourage us. They don't believe in us. And for too long, we let them have a seat at the table. We let them dictate how we feel, how we live, how we see ourselves. But that's not the way to live. You weren't born to live in the shadows of someone else's doubts or fears. You were born to shine, to stand tall, to be the best version of yourself. And to do that, you've got to learn how to let go. Let go of toxic relationships. Let go of negativity. That means stepping away from people who aren't lifting you up. It means saying goodbye to those who only show up when they need something from you. Let go of the ones who've been holding you back, who've been keeping you small, who've been telling you what you can't do or what you can't have. You've got to release them. I know it's not easy. It's hard to let go of people we've invested time in, people we've loved, people we've tried to help. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't keep giving when you're running on fumes. You can't keep trying to fill the voids of others when your own life feels empty. So you've got to start by looking inward, really looking inward. I'm talking about learning to love yourself, learning to be happy alone. I know some of you are scared of that. You think being alone means being lonely, but that's a lie. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you're free. It means you're whole. It means you have the chance to truly discover who you are, what you're capable of, and what you deserve. When you learn to be happy on your own, you become unstoppable. Because when you stand on your own 2 feet, when you love and respect yourself, that energy shifts. You start attracting the right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances into your life. You stop chasing after things and you start attracting them. When you can stand alone and be at peace, that's when everything changes. That's when the magic happens. The universe, life, God, whatever you believe in, starts opening doors for you. But first, you've got to walk away from what doesn't serve you. You've got to walk away from people who don't believe in you. You've got to walk away from situations that keep pulling you down. I know it's tough. I know it's hard to walk away from what's familiar. I know it feels like you're losing something, but here's the truth. You're not losing anything. You're gaining everything. You're gaining peace. You're gaining power. You're gaining purpose. You're gaining the life you've always dreamed of. So I want you to remember this, and I want you to say it to yourself every day. I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of happiness. I am worthy of respect. And when you start believing that, when you start walking in that truth, that's when the world starts to change around you. But here's the thing, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. You'll face challenges, you'll face doubts. There will be moments when you question whether you have what it takes. But I'm here to tell you, you have everything you need. You have everything within you to create the life you deserve. So take that first step and keep moving forward one day at a time. And as you do, I promise you this, you'll be amazed at how much peace, joy, and freedom you'll find. You don't need anyone to complete you. You're already whole. You're already enough. And when you realize that, when you finally let go of everything that doesn't serve you, that's when your life will truly begin. Listen closely. The only person who can stop you from living the life you were meant to live is you. I know what you're thinking, but I've been trying. I've been working so hard. Why isn't it happening? Here's the thing. It's not about the work you put in. It's about the energy you bring. It's about the people you surround yourself with. It's about who you're choosing to give your time, love, and energy to. We're told we're supposed to be surrounded by people all the time, friends, family, a partner. We're told that without them, something's missing. That if you're alone, you're not enough. But that's a lie. There's power in solitude. There's strength in being alone. When you're alone, you get to be with the one person who matters most, you. And that's beautiful, because when you stop relying on others' opinions, when you stop seeking validation from people who are just as lost as you are, that's when you'll find true happiness. That's when you'll find peace. It's hard to let go. It's hard to say goodbye to people who've been in your life for a long time. We get comfortable, we get attached. But that attachment is what's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you in a place where you're constantly giving but never receiving. It's time to take a step back, take a deep breath, and realize you don't need anyone to make you whole. When you're constantly surrounded by people who take, and you're giving and giving, something's got to change. And you've got to be the one to change it. It's uncomfortable. But when you let go of the people who don't serve you, when you stop holding on to those who don't appreciate you, that's when you'll find real peace. You've got to get used to saying no. You've got to get comfortable with stepping back and saying, I can't give you any more of me. People may get upset. They may question you. They may try to make you feel guilty. Don't let them. This is your journey. This is your life. You've been given one shot to live it, and you owe it to yourself to live it on your own terms. If someone in your life isn't adding to your happiness, isn't pushing you to be better, isn't making you feel worthy, it's time to let them go. I don't care how long you've known them. If they're not bringing light into your life, they're taking it away. There's nothing wrong with being alone. There's nothing wrong with focusing on yourself. This is your time to grow, to heal, and to discover the amazing person you are. Too many of us believe we need someone else to make us happy, that if we're not in a relationship or surrounded by people, we're missing out. That's not true. Happiness starts with you. It begins with you. You're not weak for needing space. You're not weak for choosing solitude. In fact, it takes strength to choose yourself over the noise of the world. It takes courage to walk away from people who drain you, who don't see your worth, who only want to pull you down. It takes strength to look in the mirror and say, I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of happiness. I will not settle for less. You weren't put on this earth to be a placeholder in someone else's life. You weren't put here to be an afterthought, to be the person someone comes to when they need something and forgets about when things are good. You're not disposable. You're worthy of respect, love, and loyalty. If you're not getting that from the people in your life, you have every right to walk away. We've been taught to believe we must please others, that we must live for others. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your happiness. You don't owe anyone your time or energy if they don't appreciate it. No one can replace the value you bring to your own life. Don't give that power away. We've all had people in our lives. We've tried to help, tried to fix, tried to love into a better version of themselves. But you can't heal someone who doesn't want to be healed. You can't save someone who isn't ready to save themselves. When you keep pouring yourself into broken relationships, you drain yourself. You lose yourself. You forget who you are. Don't let that happen. Don't lose yourself trying to fix others. Don't lose yourself trying to be what others need you to be. It's like trying to fill a cup with no bottom. You'll always be empty. Here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving to people who don't appreciate it, You'll find yourself running on fumes. You'll feel like you're doing everything right, but nothing is working. That's because you've neglected yourself. You've neglected your own needs. You've neglected your own growth. It's not selfish to choose yourself. It's necessary. You can't be your best for anyone else if you're not your best for yourself first. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to say no to things that drain you. It's okay to let go of people who don't understand your value. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll start attracting the right people into your life. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for what does. It's like cleaning out a closet. You have to get rid of the old to make room for the new. Letting go of toxic people is the same. You're clearing out emotional clutter. You're removing relationships that weigh you down. And by doing that, you're making room for the people, experiences, and opportunities meant for you. This doesn't mean you have to walk around with anger in your heart. You can let go with love. You can release people with respect. You can wish them well and let them go without holding on to resentment. Holding on to resentment only keeps you tied to them. It keeps you tethered to the past. And you can't move forward if you're holding on to all that baggage. Letting go doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you wise. It makes you someone who knows their worth. It makes you someone who values their peace of mind more than pleasing others. Letting go means you're setting boundaries. And boundaries aren't a sign of weakness. They're a sign of strength. They're a sign of self-respect. Letting go isn't just about walking away from toxic people. It's also about walking away from your own limiting beliefs. It's about letting go of the idea that you need to be in a relationship or have a certain number of friends to be valuable. You are enough on your own. You've always been enough. You don't need anyone to complete you. You don't need anyone to validate your worth. You have everything you need inside of you to live a fulfilling, happy, and successful life. You just have to believe it. You just have to trust in your own abilities. When you start living with the belief that you are complete all by yourself, that's when you'll attract the right people. That's when the right opportunities will come to you, because you won't be desperate for approval. You won't be settling for less. You'll be living from a place of strength, and people will recognize that. They'll respect that. When you're truly comfortable with being alone, you stop fearing rejection. You stop fearing being alone. You stop fearing that you won't be enough for others, because you know you are already enough. You are worthy just as you are. And when you know that, you can let go of the fear that holds you back from living the life you deserve. So here's my challenge to you. Start by letting go of fear. Start by letting go of the people who drain you. Start by letting go of the beliefs that keep you small. And as you do, you'll find that the life you've been searching for is already within your reach. It's waiting for you to step into it, to claim it, to own it. You've got what it takes. You've always had it. Now it's time to let go of everything that's holding you back and make room for the greatness that's coming your way. Life is long enough for you to live it the way you deserve. You don't have to live it on someone else's terms. You have the right to shape your own destiny. You have the right to live a life filled with peace, fulfillment, and joy. But to do that, you have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to cut the ties that are holding you back. Letting go isn't just about cutting people off. It's about cutting the mental and emotional weight that drags you down. It's about cutting the habits, beliefs, and patterns that no longer serve you. And when you do, you'll feel lighter, you'll feel freer. But it's not always going to be easy. You'll face resistance, sometimes from others, sometimes from within. You'll feel guilty. You'll feel like you're being selfish. But here's the truth. You're not responsible for other people's happiness. You're responsible for your own. And the people who truly love you will respect your growth. They won't hold you back. Sometimes there will be people who won't understand. They won't get why you're stepping away. They might accuse you of being distant or cold, and that's okay. You don't need everyone to understand. What you need is to understand your own worth. There's nothing wrong with outgrowing relationships that no longer align with your journey. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to challenge you. And when you start growing, you may find that the people you once connected with start to fall away. That's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of your growth. People may talk behind your back. They might spread rumors. They might try to shame you. But when people talk about you, they're revealing more about themselves than they are about you. People only talk about what they don't understand. And they'll never understand your journey until they've walked in your shoes. But that's not your problem. You don't have to justify your decisions to anyone. One of the hardest things you'll face is learning to let go of the past, learning to forgive, not just others, but yourself. You might ask, how do I forgive someone who hurt me? You forgive them because holding on to anger only keeps you chained to the past. Holding on to resentment keeps you from moving forward. When you let go of anger, you release yourself from the grip of those who hurt you. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about your freedom. It's about giving yourself permission to let go of what's been weighing you down. Holding on to anger is like carrying a backpack full of rocks. You're the one carrying it, and it's not just heavy, it's holding you back from reaching your destination. So let it go. And while we're talking about forgiveness, let's talk about forgiving yourself. So many of us blame ourselves for things that have happened in the past, for mistakes we've made, for the people we've trusted. But here's the truth. You were doing the best you could with the information you had at the time. Now you know better, you've learned, you've grown, and now it's time to move forward. Stop living in the rearview mirror. Stop holding on to the past as if it's your anchor. It's time to release it. I know what you're thinking, but what if I'm alone? What if I've spent so much time focusing on others that I don't know how to be alone? Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It's about being comfortable with yourself. It's about loving who you are right here, right now. We've been taught to fear solitude. We've been taught that being alone means we're incomplete. But that's a lie. You are whole as you are. You don't need anyone to complete you. You don't need anyone to validate your existence. You don't need anyone to fill the space in your heart that only you can fill. When you learn to enjoy your own company, when you learn to thrive on your own, you become a magnet for the right kind of people. You stop attracting people who drain you. You stop attracting people who see you as a project to fix. You start attracting people who see your worth. You start attracting people who love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. Stop looking for external validation. Stop waiting for others to tell you that you're doing great, that you're worthy, that you matter. I'm here to tell you, you are worthy right now. You matter. You don't need anyone else's approval. You've got to start believing in yourself. And when you do, the world will see it too. The moment you stop trying to please everyone is the moment you'll find your true power. The moment you stop pretending to be someone you're not just to fit in, that's when your real life begins. You can't live your life for others. You can't be everything for everyone. And that's okay. It's okay to disappoint people. It's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away from situations, relationships, or commitments that no longer serve you. You're not obligated to keep people around who don't respect you, who don't uplift you, who don't treat you with the kindness and love you deserve. When you embrace solitude, when you choose to spend time with yourself and invest in your own growth, you'll start to understand something very powerful. You are your greatest asset. No one else is going to walk through life with you every step of the way. No one else is going to feel your pain, your joy, your triumphs, and your struggles the way you will. So why not treat yourself with the love, respect, and care you deserve? And when you start doing that, when you start prioritizing your well-being, you'll find that the right people will start showing up. They'll see your confidence. They'll see your peace. They'll see that you know who you are, and they'll want to be a part of your life. But the key is this: don't settle. Don't settle for people who don't respect you. Don't settle for relationships that drain you. Don't settle for anything that doesn't elevate you. The moment you stop settling, that's when everything begins to change. A lot of us hold on to people because we feel sorry for them. Maybe they're going through a tough time. Maybe they've hurt us in the past, and we feel like it's our responsibility to help them. But you can't save everyone. And you don't have to. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. If someone isn't willing to put in the work to change, if someone isn't willing to meet you halfway, then you've got to let them go. You've got to release that burden. I know that can be painful. I know it can feel like you're abandoning them, but you're not. You're choosing yourself. You're choosing your peace. You're choosing to be the best version of you. And when you choose yourself, the world will open up to you in ways you never imagined. It's not about being selfish. It's about self-preservation. Because if you don't protect your energy, no one else will. So don't be afraid to let go of those toxic relationships. Don't be afraid to walk away from the people who don't respect you, who don't support you, who only bring drama into your life. Walk away with your head held high. Walk away with the confidence that you are better off without them. And as you walk away, you'll realize that you're not alone. Because when you let go of the things that no longer serve you, you make room for the right people. You make room for people who are going to love you the way you deserve to be loved. You make room for people who are going to support your dreams, who are going to encourage you to reach your highest potential, and who are going to be there for you through thick and thin. You've got to trust the process. You can't rush it. You can't force things. You can't force people to change. You can't force situations to work out the way you want them to. But here's what you can do. You can trust that when you make the decision to let go, to walk away, to choose your peace, the universe will start aligning things in your favor. It's not always going to look the way you expect it to, but trust me, it will work out. Because you've made space for the right things to come into your life. You're not meant to settle for less than what you deserve. You're not meant to live a life of regret, a life of constant worry about what others think. You're meant to stand tall, walk in your truth, and shine with everything you've got. And that's what I want for you. I want you to walk away from the things that weigh you down. I want you to walk away from the people who don't value you. I want you to walk away from everything that holds you back. And I want you to stand in your truth, in your power, in your greatness. You have everything you need inside of you. You just have to believe it. You have to trust yourself. And when you do that, when you finally let go of the past, when you let go of the people who don't serve you, that's when your life will start to change. That's when you'll start to see doors open that you never thought possible. That's when you start to live the life you've always dreamed of. So I'm asking you right now, what are you holding on to? What are you afraid to let go of? And I want you to make a decision today to release it. Let it go, because you're worth so much more. And when you start believing that, when you start living like it, that's when you'll see just how powerful you really are. You don't need anyone to complete you. You're already complete. And when you start to realize that, when you start living that truth, your life will never be the same again. So I'll leave you with this. Let go of the weight and you believe it. Thank you all, and God bless you. And this isn't set in stone. You are enough. You are and are. You jump